This is John Corey Jackson, and welcome to another Everyday Life with John video where I share with you faith-based and biblical principles that you can apply to your everyday life. So, this is a thought that was on my mind, and I thought to create a video about it. Hopefully, it will help someone and give direction to all of us actually in how we can live godly each and every day. So, especially in the South, we hear things like, Jesus knows my heart, God knows my heart, and that's very true. God does know our heart, Jesus knows our heart, God knows our intentions before we let them be known, and Jesus knows our intentions before we let them be known. So, our hearts are constantly being searched by God, so it's up to us to search our own hearts and check our motives. So, why saying Jesus knows my heart can be dangerous, and like I said, it's very true. God knows everything about us, and according to Luke 12:7, and this is from the New Living Translation, and the very hairs on your head are numbered. So God knows everything about us, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all of that stuff. And I will leave this blog post down for you below where you can check it out for yourself. But the issue comes because when we say things like God knows our heart, God knows me, and He knows what I'm about, we often can say these things in an attempt to compromise our values, to compromise our godly principles. So that is the thing. I know I have done it, and the things I've struggled with, I'm like, God knows my heart, God knows I'm trying to get it right, God knows I'm trying to do this or that. But at the same time, I can't fall into that trap of God knows my heart and let it be an excuse as to why I can't do better or I can't be better. So like I said in the blog post, take advantage of God's grace is never a license to do wrong or to sin. So even saying that God knows my heart, God is still loves me and still with me, all of that is true, but you never want to get into a point where, and I don't want to get to a point where we're taking God's grace for granted and we're taking His love and abusing the innocence by compromising. So all we have to do to simplify this is to make strides to do better. That doesn't mean we're perfect. That doesn't mean we're gonna score A pluses every day. It doesn't even mean that we're not going to sin anymore. But what it does mean is that our hearts are attuned to it now. So we have a knowledge of, okay, I'm struggling in XYZ. I got to make sure I can be better today than I was yesterday, and the day after that, and the day after that. So it is a process of growth and of maturing. So the important thing is that we never take God's grace for granted, and we try to do better each and every day. And you don't have to do, you can just take it one step at a time. You don't have to do everything perfectly, because we're not called to be perfect. We're called to be willing vessels to be used for God and by God. So don't fall into a perfection complex, but you want to make sure that you're taking it minute by minute, you're being a Christian minute by minute, you're filling yourselves with the words, that we have to make sure that we're praying constantly. And praying is not necessarily just going on your knees. Praying is as simple as dialogue with God, saying, Lord, help me with this, I'm struggling. God, I need your grace right now to cover me as I go forth in my day. Lord, help my attitude to be better. Help me to not compromise. Help me to be a light, Lord, that can represent you well in my daily walk, in my daily talk. So Your only job and my only job as a Christian is to be willing to do better, is not to be perfect. And always, just like Jesus, to always have an answer if we're feeling bad about constantly missing the mark, falling short, not being where we want to be, fill in the blank. God has an answer for it. And this particular answer comes from First John 1 and 9. But if we confess our sins to him, he is faithful and just to forgive us and to cleanse us from all wickedness. So just let this be a comfort to you, that you just have to confess it and allow God to work on your heart. But not only allow God to work on your heart, but you work on what you can do. You can control what you can control. I know it's a double negative, whatever, excuse my bad grammar. But what you can do is take control of the things you can control and let God do the rest. So that's what we can do in our daily lives to cleanse ourselves. But God ultimately has to do the purifying, because we live in this sinful man and we have this treasure in the earthen vessel. So I hope this encourages you today, that you don't have to be perfect. You are going to miss the mark. You're not going to dot all the I's and cross every T every day. You may go back to that bad habit, that bad decision, that person, that whatever it is, fill a blank. But your job is to strive to do better and to be better. And don't beat yourself up, because God says right here in his word, if we confess our sins, God is going to be faithful and just to cleanse us of all wickedness. But we do have to give God something to work with, and that means being better and trying to sanctify ourselves each and every day. That's the thing. And I know it's easier said than done, but God is with us and his spirit is living in us. So let's walk accordingly and walk in the power that God has given us, and do our very best to stay clean. If we need help, let's get help. And help us, Lord, to help ourselves first and foremost. Let's make the move to give God something to work with. Thank you so much. I hope this helped you. I hope this blesses you. And this is a comfort to me, because we can just fall into the trap of saying God knows my heart and God understands the kind of person I am. But at the same time, we have to be careful of that, because it can be a crutch if we let it. So let's try to do better each and every day, and you could do better each and every way. So thank you so much, guys, for checking out the video. I will leave the blog post down for you below so you can read it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. God bless you. I hope this blesses you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and be blessed.